I'm recording. So what's up, YouTube? This is SSJ, and this is gonna be a somewhat different kind of video. I'm here because, believe it or not, I'm actually a Terminator fan, a huge fan of the Terminator franchise, due to, of course, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the cool action set pieces that we receive in the Terminator films. The storytelling is great. The whole coming back from time, sending somebody back in time to the 80s and the 90s to go in time to go and do a rescue or assassination mission is very compelling. However, I have somebody here. I'm not even going to call this person a friend, really, but I have somebody here that decided to release a video stating on why they think that the Terminator 2, specifically Terminator 2 Judgment Day, is not a good film, the most overhyped film in pop culture history, this person says. And we kind of went back and forth in messages and basically have not come to an agreement. So he basically put this video out in spite of me. So let's go ahead without further ado. I'll pause in between.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I've been taking my
I bet
time
you were.
to put this video out. A lot of people have been criticizing me online because I went to other Facebook groups about this.
I don't go on Facebook, by the way, but
Terminator 2 is one of the most overrated movies in pop culture. It just is. And I'm going to explain in details why I think this movie actually sucked. Not that it's just overrated. I think this movie really sucked. Let's talk about John Connors.
keep in mind I'm going on my other page, pausing this, how there's various articles, Rotten Tomato scores, reviews, MovieWeb, about Terminator 2 being one of the best, if not the best, sequels ever made in cinema, being praised for its groundbreaking special effects, intense action sequences, compelling narrative, which built upon the original film, while also forging its own path, which I definitely agree on, but somehow he doesn't see this. So let's continue.
He was a boy in this movie, and he was a very annoying character. His lines did not punch for me like his jokes. He felt like a live-action Bart Simpson.
So, John Connor is not supposed to be a jokey, comedic type character. He's a serious foster child who doesn't like his foster parents, so he kind of just goes around doing his own thing. He's a bad, troubled kid who ends up doing bigger things in the future. That's why he's a kid, because this takes place in the past. The stuff that we see John Connor do, like that he actually goes on to do in the future and save the world, that doesn't happen until like over 3,000 or something like that, 2,000. So yeah, I don't get this criticism.
And I know The Simpsons was very popular in the 90s, and that's when the movie came out, but it felt like a live action Bart Simpson.
I don't know where he gets this live action Bart Simpson. I know this YouTuber is a fan of The Simpsons, but this has absolutely nothing to do with The Simpsons. I know in the 90s it was a big trope to always have like a child character tag along the protagonist, like that one movie with Eddie Murphy, The Golden Child, or even Last Action Hero that Arnold Schwarzenegger did a few years after this movie. But I don't think it hurt this movie in any way.
Throughout the whole entire movie, I felt like this boy did not match the tone of this movie. And I hate when they do this in all the movies. You know, when that character is the chosen one. So when they're younger, they do something amazing. So we know that this was the chosen character.
But you like Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, right? Were they not the chosen one? And it's not like he was this amazing character that could get in any situation. He had to be protected for the most part by Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800 series, because he was being hunted by the T-1000, who was very hostile and dangerous at any given moment, and he could camouflage and transform into anybody in the movie.
Like, I just thought it was silly that he had technology that he could steal money out of the ATM machines of the technology that he built. Like a 10-year-old could really.
I mean, yeah, they probably could.
I don't see it.
In the 90s, yeah, probably.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi show when Princess Leia, remember the little kid Princess Leia, she knew how to fix.
Okay, I'm gonna stop him right there. This is absolutely nothing like the kid Princess Leia thing. How the kid Princess Leia and Obi-Wan was somehow able to help repair that ship that was destroyed and help, like she was able to somehow fix her flying machine that she had that was like supposed to emote and all that, all those things or whatever. Nothing like that. All he did was hack an ATM, like put something in it and punch in a bunch of random codes, and it gave him a bunch of money that wasn't really his. So he illegally was able to get money. That's nothing similar, but okay.
Starships and all that stuff. Like she was like this super genius just because we know she's the princess of the
That's
future.
nothing like this.
Like, I just hate when they do that to the characters. We don't need to do that. It's annoying. Now let's talk about Sarah Connors.
Before I let him get into this, just so y'all know, my man's here is incredibly sexist and for some reason has a problem when a female is in the front line doing absolutely anything. So just keep that in mind. A little sexism, if you will.
So in the first movie, Sarah Connors is a waitress. And now in the second film, she is this Super Saiyan dyke.
So let's go ahead and stop the disrespectfulness here. We used to say Super Saiyan God whenever we were making fun of a character like Rey Skywalker in the Star Wars films, but Sarah Connor is nothing like that in this film either. Now, yes, he's correct that she was a waitress in the first movie, but eventually along the way, she trained with Kyle Reese and was taught how to reload the guns and pack weapons and kind of plan for certain events or whatever. It was heavily, we've seen it in the first movie, which I guess he's never seen or paid any attention to. But yeah, that pretty much fills in how she pretty much has those survival skills, and the fact that her life, she had like a change in her life with Kyle Reese passing away early on and her having to basically man up and be the husband and wife. It kind of makes a lot of sense. And she already was kind of trained with guns guns to begin with. She had a gun in the first Terminator movie. So I don't understand how you think that she is a Super Saiyan dyke, but let's keep going.
That can shoot up people, kill people, have the confidence to be a full dyke warrior. Her personality has completely switched after the first movie. I could get it. Life moments change you because she saw the love of her life. Basically,
you basically answered your own question. PTSD. The PTSD from Kyle Reese dying in front of her, the Terminator chasing after her, her realizing that a Terminator is not really a human or a man that she could talk down to or say like, hey, can you stop killing me? That's a machine that's coming after you. So she realizes that she just always has to be prepared and be on the move. She, like, we saw the training montage, and before she ended up sleeping with Kyle Reese, them packing the weapons, that was pretty much the start of Sarah Connor kind of getting her stuff together, if you will. So this is just straight up sexism. We're just gonna skip past this and go to him going in on the T-1000.
I absolutely hated this villain with all my heart. He did not look intimidating. He looked too small. Every moment I saw him on screen going against Arnold Schwarzenegger, it just looked silly. Arnold looked way bigger, looked way stronger, looked like he can just...
Okay, so I guess he just wants to see two big dudes fight each other, which you must be off of that sweet and low if you want to see two big sweaty dudes fight each other. But the T-1000 was very, very much intimidating and a very much presence in the Terminator 2 movie. The reason why the T-1000 was a smaller frame. One, because the Terminator in the first movie was too slow and bulky, and two, he was meant to be like an infiltration unit for infiltrating and eliminating his target when he gets to 1991 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So I don't understand how he wasn't intimidating, because he always had that blank look on his face. And the fact that he could transform into anybody that he touches made it very dangerous, that you couldn't really trust anybody. So he was very much intimidating, especially in this picture right here. If my thing is messed up, I'll put a picture of it. But yeah, very much intimidating, especially when he tries shooting. Whenever you see somebody shoot at the T-1000, and then he just starts healing right away. So yeah, and then he does that nod. Very much unsettling too, since he doesn't really do a lot of speaking in the movie. But let's continue.
Toss this small, skinny frame guy. If you was going to switch the villain out, and they shouldn't have, they just shouldn't have. It was a bad mistake.
Bro, what are you screaming at? Shut up.
Yes! This was not my villain. He was not scary or intimidating.
He wasn't. He was definitely intimidating. I don't know what you're talking about. Having somebody transform right into you, into the same person that basically having somebody transform into you, and then take their finger, turn it into a knife, and stick it through your eye. That's not scary to you, or like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Very intimidating too. So I don't get that shit criticism.
Let's go to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Of course, he gets this ugly picture of Schwarzenegger.
It could be huge. It can be very controversial. I believe this was the biggest mistake of the franchise. Arnold Schwarzenegger should have always stayed the villain. Making him good after the first movie was a huge, terrible, unforgivable mistake. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the perfect match for the villain. Dumb, slow, cocky, with muscle.
You don't have to say huge, terrible, and unforgivable in the same sentence. So he wasn't that slow if you're talking about intelligence. And he wasn't really cocky. He was just more of an asshole, because that was how the T-800 was back then. But that's definitely debatable. I know some people like Arnold when he was evil, when he was in the first Terminator movie. But again, I disagree with I disagree with this whole take right here. But let's keep going.
That was a perfect villain for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe behind scenes, he said, I want to be with the good guys so I can start winning. I don't know. You know, some shit that The Rock would do.
I doubt it, but okay.
Huge mistake, people. Now let's talk about the scientist, Miles Burnett.
I have a lot to say about this, because this is just a reaching take right here. But let's get into this. I'll let him go first.
Really? So we're saying really the only black character in this fucking movie is the reason why the future is going to be dead, the reason why the world is going to end, because this black guy created a chip. So we're going to blame all of this on this black dude. So the only black character in the goddamn movie is the reason why the world is about to end. Racist Hollywood.
No, we're just reaching once again. We don't have to, like, this is definitely not racist Hollywood. Come on, man. So, I mean, Miles Dyson, who happened to discover the arm that was in the first Terminator movie that Sarah Connor crushed from the T-800 that was chasing her in the factory, that arm was later saved, and we see it in the second Terminator movie, and they end up using it to build a chip, and that chip is used to basically jumpstart Skynet. He's not necessarily the reason why Skynet is what it is today. He just kind of jumpstarts the company, because he dies way earlier before Skynet becomes out of control, like a Ultron situation in Avengers Age of Ultron. But he is killed off way earlier than that as well. But the moral of the story is he just happened to be in the wrong place at the same time. Not every black guy is going to be a good guy, and just because he happens to be the only black guy doing certain things doesn't make it racist. He just happens to be bad, and anyone can be bad. So we're reaching.
Racist Hollywood is a fucking joke.
Blah blah blah.
So since he's the reasoning why all this is happening, we couldn't get a black Terminator? Are you serious?
Everything doesn't have to be black, but okay. Like, why are you thinking about a black Terminator?
Should have replaced T-1000 because T-1000 did not look.
Oh, let's see this.
Threat. Could you imagine?
Look, big black. This is Wesley Snipes, but yeah, big black dude. So he basically wanted two big dudes fighting each other. I don't know if you asked me, but that's kind of gay. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this video right here. You clearly did not see the first movie or pay attention to the themes of it or the second movie. The second movie is one of the greatest sequels ever, man. So you're fucking reaching with this right here. This video that was trash, absolutely trash. I went ahead and disliked it on my main channel and my second channel. Yeah, man, this was atrocious. I've never seen anybody in my life say anything like that about Terminator 2. People can have their opinions and say like, oh, well, I didn't really care for such and such movie. Like, we had a conversation and he said he didn't really care for Terminator 3 like that, which I understand. A lot of people don't care for Terminator 3 like that. It's a mixed movie, but you know, you're basically taking what we don't like about current day Hollywood and pressing that on to certain things that you don't like, because I know you don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've had conversations. You don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's number one. And then number two, you clearly don't like female characters at all. Sarah Connor was not that much. She was not that major of a character in this movie. The only thing that she did was get broken out of the hospital that she was in by the T-800 and Sarah Connor, because the T-1000 would have chased down and killed her too, and then his plan would have been complete for Skynet, so they had to rescue her. And two, when she went on her arc to meet with her friends in Mexico to get those guns, because at the end of the first movie, Sarah Connor takes the drive to go to Mexico, and that's a reference to the picture that's taken when you see her take that drive out over. Yeah, clearly some folks didn't pay attention. I don't know if my man over here was drunk or high or fell asleep during some of this. The T-1000, just because he wasn't some big dude, big burly dude, doesn't mean he wasn't intimidating. Like, he wasn't intimidating or anything like that, because he certainly was. A lot of TV shows and movies have this thing where they use like the smaller frame to basically surprise us. Like Frieza's a big example. Like, remember how Frieza went from being tiny and with the horns in his hover chair, but then second form Frieza transforms and he's like 8 feet tall, and then when he transforms into his third form, he's around the same size but with a really huge head, like the alien from the Alien series. But then out of nowhere, he's in his final form, his real form, the white and purple one, and that's his strongest form. It's stronger than all those other forms. So it's just part of that same thing. Skynet, in movie universe too, wanted to send the T-1000 as a smaller frame to be an infiltration unit, and it was almost a success, but it was thwarted by John Connor sending the T-800 back in the past. So all of this sounds interesting to me. I don't know how this is a bad movie to you, but yeah.
She don't wanna be saved, don't save her. 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 She don't wanna be saved.